listen, we know phones run this world we live in now. There was one point where phones didn't run anything. Like, it was too expensive to have a phone. And I'm talking about as recently as what, 15, 20 years ago. I remember when I actually had to go outside to talk to people. Like, actually look in their face, smell their breath, and have a conversation with them. It was real back then. But now, everything is digital. Communication is transversed over sonical waves. And because this world is so dependent on technology, and specifically phones for this video, we have to understand the science of having communication on these devices. It is what it is. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about the biggest mistakes a lot of women make with men over the phone. Whether you're a caller or a texter, this will apply to all of y'all, all right? But before I start, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you think in the comment section below, and let's get straight to it. The first mistake that a lot of women make when it comes to having conversations with men over the phone is double texting and double calling. Now, I'm just starting with the basics at double because some of y'all be triple, quadruple, quintupling. Stop that. As your internet brother, I'm going to tell y'all what I hate seeing y'all do, and I don't want y'all to do this any longer. I'm going to give you the honest truth. If someone does not want to talk to you, they're not going to talk to you, whether that be texting or calling. If you text someone and they don't text back, first of all, give them some time. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they have a busy life. We all have lives, right? But say for instance, a day goes by, right? And a couple days go by and they still haven't texted you back. You can check on them to make sure they are all right. But if this is a continual, habitual thing where they just have these major gaps in communication, leave them be for your own sake. If you call someone and they don't call you back, and this has been happening multiple times, too many times, leave them be for your own sake. Now, I'm not saying this applies to if it happens one time or rare occurrences, because that's a rare occurrence. It never happens, right? But if this is the 5th time they've done this to you, if this is a habit, if this is a tradition with this man, stop playing yourself and stop communicating with this dude until he finds time and effort and energy to communicate with you. Stop playing yourself. As y'all know, I created this channel for my 2 young nieces so that when they become of age, they will understand men a lot more from their uncle. And I would hate to see my 2 nieces double texting, triple calling some bonehead because he doesn't want to call them and they really like him. And it sucks because when you really like someone, you don't want to give that up. So you double text, you triple text, you double call, you triple call, and beyond. Forget all that. People do not have respect for you these days, and they're going to show that through communication or lack of. Stop playing yourself for your own sake. If they communicate back, then you go from there. But if they never do, leave it be. The next big mistake that women make with communicating with men over the phone is dragging out conversations that you don't want to be in. And I understand a lot of y'all, a lot of my followers are super nice women. Like, y'all are beautiful women. Y'all have beautiful hearts. Y'all care. And a lot of y'all care what people think. And that's why a lot of y'all drag out conversations you don't want to be in because you don't want to hurt their feelings. But let me tell you something. From this day forward, from your internet brother, internet uncle, whatever I am to you, you beautiful soul, stop dragging out conversations you don't want to be in, because time is so essential. You cannot waste it. And I feel y'all pain when y'all be in these conversations and you don't want no part of it, especially in the dating realm, right? Because you're getting to know someone, and sometimes when you get to know someone, you find out that they are not for you. So instead of ending it or concluding it or preparing for that or telling them the truth, like, hey, I don't think this is gonna work, or I don't think we're compatible, y'all drag it on. Y'all entertain these conversations. Y'all entertain him. Stop doing that. Your time is so precious. If you know you are not compatible with someone, talk about it with them. Let it be known. Because if you don't let it be known, he doesn't know because he thinks everything's all good. You gotta be honest with yourself and with this person so y'all don't waste each other's time. Stop dragging out conversations. Stop being on the phone with someone you don't want to be on the phone with. Learn to say no. Learn to appreciate your time. When you do these things, you won't drag out conversations because you prioritize your time and your energy. The next big mistake that women make when in communication with men over the phone is ignoring something he's passionate about telling you and you're not giving receptive energy back, especially when it's not your thing. Now, all of us are unique, different, and you get into a relationship with someone who's totally different from you. You realize like, oh wow, he's really into some weird stuff, but I still love him. But listen, When your man brings up something to you that he's totally passionate about, one of his geek things, his hobbies, and he's like, hey honey, like I just found out something amazing. He tells you it. One suggestion I give you is to give good energy. Even if you don't understand what it is, even if you don't like it, you know that your man loves it. And the fact that he's telling you is amazing. That means he really rocks with you, because he probably doesn't tell a lot of people about these type of things. But when a man tells you something he's passionate about and you do not give good energy back, your feedback is dry, you text him back 2 words, something real lethargic, that is a horrible mistake. You know why? Because he's not gonna want to tell you anything else. When it comes to men and we geek out on something, our hearts are racing. And the first thing we want to do is tell the most important person to us, which is you. So if we can't do that with you, you can create a stone out of him. He's not gonna want to tell you nothing. And he might find someone else to tell those things to. And that's something we do not want, right? So even if you don't understand something, give good energy back. Say, oh, that's cool. You don't gotta lie, but just be there for him. You know what I'm saying? Because if the shoes were reversed, you will want that same thing for you. The next huge mistake that a lot of women make when it comes to communicating with men over the phone is making it all about yourself and not considering him. I remember one time I was talking to a young lady back in my college days, and she was so cool. She was beautiful. She was great. But then when we started to have real conversations, I realized that she would make everything about herself. Like I would let her talk about herself and you know, because I'm trying to figure out who she is. But then when it came to me and I would talk about myself, she will always make it about her. So say for instance, I'll say, yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to school for my master's or something. She would say something like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to school for my master's too because I need this degree because I wanna do this in my life. And she'd never let me finish talk about myself and like the things that make me, you know? She would always cut me off and bring it back to her. And that was so annoying because it's like, yo, I wanna talk to you about me too. Like, I understand you're excited about talking about yourself, but like, think about me too, right? Never forget to have balance in your communication. Never forget to be a good listener just as well as a good talker. Communication is a two-way street. It's about talking, but also about listening. Once it gets heavily unbalanced, then you are not having healthy communication. And that leading to him not wanting to talk to you. And the last thing I'm gonna bring up, the last mistake that a lot of women make when in communication with men over the phone is going against your communication profile. Now, what is that? Everyone has a communication profile. You're either a texter or you're a caller. And you even have hybrids where it's like, I can do texting or calling. But you gotta be real with yourself and know what you like and be true to that. Stick to that, but also communicate it to him. The worst thing you can do is force text when you are a caller or force call when you are a texter because he's a certain way. Now, what do I mean by that? Say for instance, you're with a guy and he does nothing but text. He's a texter, that's his communication profile, but you're a caller and you let it be known like, hey, I know you're a texter and all, but I'm a caller, let's have some compromise. Compromise is huge. But he says, nah, I like texting, let's just text. First of all, he doesn't respect your communication profile, but outside of that, do not force something you are not comfortable with doing. So if you let it be known you are a caller and he says, nah, I'd rather text, you don't have to further this communication. If he's not open to compromise, don't force against your communication profile. And that's a mistake a lot of women make. They try to make these dudes feel good, so they go against their own comfort to make them feel good. No, if you are a caller, call. And if he has a problem with that, bye. You gotta make it a privilege to have communication with you. If you don't wanna talk to me, that's fine. It is a liberty. You're free to do so. We don't have to communicate. People need to be understanding of other people's comforts. So never go against what makes you comfortable. If you are comfortable calling, then continue to communicate with people who like to call too, or who are able to compromise with you if it's a texter, and vice versa. If no one wants to compromise, keep it moving. Stop forcing yourself against your comfort. You deserve better than that, all right? And that's coming straight from your internet uncle, brother, cousin, family. Period. So I'll see y'all in my next video. Thank you for rocking with me on this video and watching it. Have a beautiful day. Peace and blessings. Goodbye.